Hello, beautiful people. I was getting ready to talk and forgot to unmute the mic. Today has been a wonderful day. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. It is nurturing conversation time. Um, I am working to be better at this podcasting thing. Um, it's a work in progress, but thank you all for tuning in. I am your host, Chelle, also known as Chelle, also known as Midwsthumnbrd. I'm saying that every time from now on. And we are here to have a conversation around the thawing effect. The thawing effect. My voice is a little tired. I'm a little tired, so my voice is in a lower register right now, but it's okay. Cause we gonna make it work. Hey, make it work. Hey. Anywho, let me go ahead and give you my disclaimers. Let's get this out of the way. I do not tolerate disrespect in any way, shape, form, or fashion that is towards me, towards anyone that appears on the screen. It's 2022. We survived your life. You survived a global fucking pandemic. There's no need to be negative or anything like that. This is a safe space, a judgment free zone. There will be curse words, there will be tears. I am not a mental health professional. I am not a mental health professional. I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know two things. One, you can overcome anything that life throws at you. And two, you are not alone. While it feels like you are not alone. Um, let's see. The topics that are discussed, I discuss them from my opinion. My opinion is my opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. I feel like as adults, we should be able to find a common ground. I know that we aren't going to have the same opinions. However, I am willing to put my differences aside and understand where you come from. Tonight's topic, again, is the thawing effect. If you are new here, I feel like I will forever be on a journey of healing and self discovery. I think it's just waking up to the fact that it needs to take place is where I'm at. Well, I started it 2 years ago, but it's a forever thing. Like it's a lifelong journey, shall I say. And I'm super excited to be on it. I don't know what I thought was going to happen as I journeyed, um, but it has definitely caught me off guard. Definitely took me into places I did not expect to be. Um, I am healing from things I did not even consider. I have healed. Um, I've learned to let go of things that I once held on for forever. It's all about learning. It's letting go of what I knew to learn something new, and learning new habits, learning to love myself. That's the most important part of out of all of this. Learning to love myself and learning to allow myself to feel. Allowing myself to feel. I remember when I was, I want to say I was eight, 10, early teens, somewhere in there. I call myself shutting my feelings off, where I didn't feel at all. I just went through life like, okay, this is what it is. And so as I got older, I realized how um, the idea of shutting off my emotions was damaging to my well being. Again, I am not a mental health professional. I'm just sharing my personal experience in the area of thawing. So, as I continued to navigate life, I began to understand I never was in control of my feelings or like shutting them off. Like it's impossible. Although it may seem like we are able to do that, it's impossible, because where you turn something off, something else, goes in its place. Like you take away something, something else will fill that void. And I began to just allow myself to feel. You ever said, "Oh, uh, no one ever, I'm never going to be in this." You ever been in a space where you feel like your innocence, your your kindness was taken for weakness? Like, you ever been in that space and you was like, "Oh, I'm never, this never going to happen to me. I'm never going to let this happen to me again," right? It's the word never. Never going to let this happen to me again. And it seems like to me, the moment you say that, the thing you say that's not going to happen actually happens. So for me, it was like, I'm not gonna turn my emotions. I'm turning my emotions off. What do I need them for? People just keep hurting me. I just keep high on salute. I just keep getting hurt. So I'm just gonna turn these off. I don't need them. What I need them for? And then I started to realize that I became something that I knew it wasn't me. I knew it wasn't me, but in order to survive in my circumstances, oh, that sounds so weird to say, but that's who I became. That's what I became. So I wasn't really concerned about, I didn't care about a lot of things. I honestly felt detached from everything. It's like when you have, when you like, when I was growing up, like, we looked forward to going to Chuck E. Cheese on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That was like a routine. That was something that our mother did. We didn't never ask her to do that, but she just did that. I guess, so like, you guys are good kids, so let's take you. So when she didn't, like when she was too tired to take us, or she just, life happens. I understood that. I understood that. I don't know. I always have a spot in my heart for my parents. I do, especially now that I understood the dynamics of their life before me, during me, and like presently. I will always have a special spot for them. And so I'm trying to explain to my brothers, like, hey, she's tired. Like, she just worked. I'm trying to explain, but like, people don't get it because they want what they want when they want it. And so, like, to this day, one of my brothers has this thing, like, if you tell him you're going to do something, he's like, he expected. If you say at 7 o'clock, I'm going to take you to the corner store. The corner store could be 2 steps away from him. If at 6:59, y'all not walking to the store, oh, he's going to have a whole thing. And it was, for me, it was like, that turned him, that happened when we was like, shoot, I want to say like 8 or 9, somewhere in there. Like, it's like, I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want people to have that over me. Like, I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm gonna promise you this, and then have you ever sat with disappointment? Like, especially if it's somebody that you like really like look up to, or you believe in, or like, you just want the best for them. Like, I realized, let me tell you a scenario. This past Tuesday, I went to the grocery store. I took my mom to the Woodmans, right? We're in there grocery shopping. It's time for us to go. I promise you, it seemed like we were in there for like hours. I don't know. I don't know. I realized I don't like to shop. I used to love it. But now it's like, why are we spending 4 hours in the grocery store? It's the same grocery store we go to every time. But we were in there for a long time. So I'm walking back to my truck, and I'm looking at my truck like, somebody done smashed into my damn truck. My mom looking at it, she was like, they sure did. Your bumper, look. I said, let me go in here and see if they got cameras. And so then I started to think, right? I was like, but what if this is the first thing I said, but what if it was an old lady that smashed into my truck? Do I really want to file a report on an old lady? And so this happened on Tuesday. It's Sunday. I realized, I was just talking to my mother. I was like, maybe the universe is testing me. Now, you're probably like, why would they be testing you? Because in my mind, I'm like, if I was to hit somebody's car, this is just me. This is again, this is just me. If I was to hit somebody's car, I would like leave a note with my information on it, or I will wait till you come to your car to be like, hey, I accidentally backed into your car. I want to, let you know what happened. So I called to see like what I should do, and they're like, well, you'll have to file a police report because it's a hit and run. And they started saying all this stuff, and I was like, in the back of my mind, I was thinking like, but what if it was a little old lady? And then I was like, that little old lady should have had the wherewithal to say I hit your truck. Luckily, my truck's still dry. I mean, it's drivable. It's just, it's you wouldn't really notice if, I hadn't said anything. You wouldn't notice. But it's like, it's the principle. You hit my fucking truck. And now I know that it's like beat up. And then I started to think like, I did say I want to get a car, but I don't want to get a car like this. But then we don't have control. Basically what I'm saying is we don't have control over like too much of anything. We feel as though we do. We, like I said, I turned my emotions off. I didn't care. You could sit in front of me and be crying your eyes out, doing a, and I would just look at you like, okay, all right. Here's a tissue. Hey, and then life started to happen to me, and like I knew, like at my core, I am truly light, love, and positivity. That's at my core. Life just threw some fucked up curveballs at me, and I was just like, you know what? To protect myself, I am going to keep everybody at bay, because when people get in this space right here, you start to feel a little different about them. I don't know if you paid attention to that, but long as people are like arms length away, you care, but you don't really be like, ooh, I wonder if they ate today. I wonder how they're feeling. You don't really care because they're like arm's length. But when they get right here, right? I want to say it's when my nephew came. I want to say that was what touched my heart. Like my brothers, I love them. I love all of my people, right? But I think it was having a young person around where it was just like, I remember being young, right? And then I started to care. I found myself caring a little more. I wanted to care. Like they're like, he's a young man or he's a boy. If he fall, don't do the I'm like, no, he fell. He's bleeding. I want to make sure that he's okay. It's that like I wanted to just be everything for him, right? And then I started finding myself like I'm caring about a little old lady, and what if it wasn't a little old lady? This is what I said today to my mom just a minute ago. I was like, what if it wasn't a little old lady? What if it was just somebody just accidentally bumping a car? But for me, it's the principle. Why don't you just say, hey, I bumped your car? It's not even about money. It's not any. I realized at 42, it's more about the principle for me. I didn't understand that back in the days when I was younger, when I was, but now I get it. 42, I'm telling you, once you cross, I don't know what age you are, but when you cross over into 30s started it for me. 30 started it for me. I started going to therapy in my 30s. Well, it's like 28, and then up until I'm still in therapy. But I started to realize like it was my circumstances around me that created that. I'm not going to say cold-hearted, because I wasn't cold-hearted. I still loved people. I still did for people, but I didn't want to feel that disappointment. I didn't want to feel disappointed. I didn't want to have my heart broken. I didn't want to be let down. I don't know, like at that time I really was like, yeah, this is, I'm doing it. I'm not getting my heart broke. I'm out here, as a matter of fact, I'm out here breaking hearts. I'm doing all of this, right? And then in the reality, when you sit and just be with yourself, you're just like, what the fuck am I doing? This not me. That's not me. So then the thawing effect for me, it was like the walls you build, like 15 layers of walls, and then it's like my heart has started to warm. There's a movie, and I said I was going to remember it because I was going to talk about it today, but I can't remember. what it is. Actually, let me Google it real fast. There's a movie where there was zombies. The people are zombies, and like he meet this girl, and then like he comes back as a regular normal person. I'm watching this movie like that's exactly what it is. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to find. I'm gonna find what the movie is. Just one moment. Um. What was it? It's got the girl from Warm Blooded. Is that what it is? Warm Bodies. Hey, that's gonna be on my. Let me write that down because that's gonna be on my movies list. You should check out. Okay, it's Warm Bodies, right? I'm watching this movie. I'm like, that's exactly what that's blah, 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 blah. That's exactly what it felt like to me. It was like when my nephew came and I'm looking at him, he's bigger now. He's like grown. He's grown. But it was just like that's the thing that I have for all of my nieces and nephews. And I feel like they woke me up to the fact like, disappointment is going to happen. Long as you're alive, it's going to happen. I just had to figure out how it didn't affect me as bad as it once did. Because before, when I got disappointed, it was like life. It was life changing. It was like my world had ended. It's like I believed. Like, you ever been in a relationship, and you like really giving the person the benefit of the doubt? You're like, oh, this is a beautiful relationship. We are doing, and then you get cheated on. And it comes out of nowhere. Like there is no like, hey, this is happening. It just literally comes out of nowhere, right? No one prepares you for that process. High time. No one prepares you for the process of what happens during cheating. How do you recover from it? Nobody prepares you for that. And so what I found as a person who got cheated on, like I told y'all this is gonna be emotional. This last week made 2 years since I've been single, so this is a part of the process for me, right? So what I realized is like I wanted so much for you. Like I saw us being successful. I saw you being successful. I saw it just being successful. And then it's like when you get cheated on, you're talking to people around you or people around you like, hey girl, everybody was like, you need to get from under and get over. That's what they were saying. Get under this person, get over that person. That analogy for me was just like, why the fuck do we think about like shit like that? Anyways, so I'm talking to people and they was like, oh, if that was me, blah, 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 doing all of this. And then I just said to myself, human beings are so fucked up. Now I'm all for human beings. I'm all for empathy. I'm all for that. But then I just started to really think like human beings are really fucked up. I don't know when we became fucked up, but people are really fucked up where they will know that you are doing everything you can to make the situation work. And they will know that they don't want to be there, but instead of just vocalizing or communicating that they don't want to be there, they decide to step out. And then when they step out, they try to make it seem like you are the reason that they stepped out. In my mind, I'm just sitting here listening to people tell me like what they did when their person cheated and all this stuff. And I was just like, people are really fucked up. We are. Part of the reason why I keep saying people need to go to therapy. And let me just clarify that, right? Like, again, I'm not a mental health professional, but I say this. Somebody was like, why do you always be talking about therapy all the time? You go to therapy and you think you just know everything. No, I don't. I just know how therapy has helped me. And it's not just the fact that you go and sit on the couch, because at first I wasn't sitting on the couch. I was actually sitting in a really comfortable chair, but that's neither here nor there. It's the thought of there is a alternative resource to the things that you were doing previously. see if you see where I'm going? It's a thought where in my mind, this is just me. This is just me. If I've been giving it to the same person for 5 years and there is no change, they say if you continuously do something and thinking doing the same thing and looking for a different result, that's insanity. I kind of figured, y'all know what I'm saying. But if I'm praying and there's no change, I'm not going to pray anymore. I'm going to just have to get it how I get it. And therapy was how I got it. And I didn't, I'd come from a religious background and they were like, they're going to put stuff in your head. And so I had all these ideas when I went to sit on the couch. And then it was just like, oh, this shit is everybody. Like, like when you taste some good food and you be like, oh, everybody needs to know about this food. Everybody needs to know about therapy. So I was telling my friend, I was like, I say therapy all the time because I don't think that we consider therapy as a resource, especially if you grew up in a religious household. That's whatever religion you are. It was like you just give it to Jesus or the deity that you serve and everything was going to be okay. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to be okay. But what I'm saying is these people were created to help us, assist us in our walk through life. So we should tap into them. And besides, every time, if you hear me say therapy a lot, somewhere in the back of your head is going to register. You ever was talking to somebody and then somebody else said something, he's like, oh, I remember I was talking to so-and-so. Yeah, it's just in the back of your head. When you get to that moment where you like really, like human beings have really disappointed you to the level where you just like, fuck all humans, then you're going to start thinking in the back of your mind like, nah, I don't really mean that. I'm angry right now. I just need to figure something out. And then, you find somebody, it's like, it's like somebody do something to you and you call your good Judy or you call your bro and be like, hey, bro, let me tell you what this person did. It's something like that. That's what I equate therapy to. It's somebody, most people like, I need to find somebody that's non-biased that don't know me. Half of the people on this earth don't know you. Your parents don't even know you. But we just have this thing about us, humans, have this thing about us where we don't want to be judged. We don't want people to talk about us. I'm really not though. I'm just telling you like my personal experience, like how I got to the point where right now today, do y'all see that? I don't know if y'all notice it, but when I smile, I notice this every time I smile. It's like my heart leap a little bit. But I want everybody to have that moment. And of course, I know like everybody can't have it. They can, but people will say everybody can't have it. Everybody can't. If everybody get healed, why does anybody have to not be healed? It's like my whole philosophy. This is my philosophy about hurt people. I told y'all human beings are fucked up, right? When people say hurt people, that's like an excuse to be like, I know I fucked up. I know I did some fucked up shit to you, but hey, somebody did it to me. I real life was talking to an individual and I be sharing my philosophies all the time because again, I like to have nurturing conversations. So I said, you ever thought, like, I'll ask you, have you ever thought about the entire idea of a generational curse? Or a generational wealth or a generational trauma? Like, have you ever thought about the reality of that? Like, it's 400 plus years since slavery, right? But the reality of it is we are still enslaved. No, they're not whipping our backs. No, we're not picking cotton. But like, if you actually think about it, like think about a generational curse, right? That, for me, this is just my opinion, a generational curse is something that the previous generation did not have the courage or the resources. Oh, I like that. They did not have the resources to solve, combat, or dispel. Can we say that? So it passed down to another generation. Just like generational wealth. It's like, okay, my great grandfather was a billionaire and He taught us how to, set up stuff, businesses, LLCs, trusts, all of that stuff. And so it just trickled down. It's like family just got money, Rockefellers, Kennedys, all of those people just got money. Money, old school money is what they call it. Why aren't we passing along that kind of information? Like, if you're a parent and you experience a really bad childhood, like, why don't you ever heard somebody say, man, my child was fucked up and make sure I have to work hard so that my child don't never have to experience anything that I experienced, right? In my mind, I think that only applies for like material shit. Like, my child gonna wear Jordans or name brand pants, or they gonna have all of this shit. Like, but the love part, the emotional part, they gonna lack. Like, if you think about it, like, if you're watching this and you're a guy, I just want to ask you a question. I'm gonna talk to you right now. I know it's probably a lot of women watching, but if you're a guy and you come across this, I'm gonna ask you, how many times did your father hug you? How many times did a male figure in your life hug you and tell you that you were doing a good job, or told you that they love you, or supported you in anything that you've done in your life? Just ponder on that for a moment. Now, if you are a father with a son, the same could be said for women too. So if you are a parent with a child, how many times have you hugged your child to tell them that you love them? How many times did you just sit down with them or walk over to them and just hug them? I think about this. Again, I said it was my nieces and my nephews that actually it was life. But my nieces and nephews definitely helped with it. Every time I see them, I hug them, I kiss them, I tell them that I love them. I tell them that they are the most beautifulest or handsomest person I've ever seen ever. And you should see, I see what happened. You should see the smile that they have. You should, like, if you could feel, like, basically what I'm saying is, if no one did it for you, I know it's like, well, nobody did it for me, and look how I turned out. That'd be the thing that people be saying, and just be like, but you're not okay. No, you don't smoke crack, or no, you don't drink, or no, you don't twerk on every dude you see, or no, you don't do all of those things, right? But you're still not okay. Maybe your father left when you were younger and you're just like, fuck it, I hate Father's Day. It's not okay. I get it, but it's not okay. And so then if you're in a relationship with somebody and then they become a bad father, now you're triggered because your father left and now your baby daddy is acting the same. Or even the same could be said for men who their relationships with their mother weren't friendly, or they weren't like loving. Basically what I'm saying is, like, if you didn't have that love, if you didn't have that support, I think it's your responsibility to pass that on to the next generation. Like right now, if you're a parent and you're watching this, randomly hug your child. I know they probably look at you like weird, like, wait, what the fuck is going on? It's probably what they said in their head, but think about how many kids out here aren't being hugged by the people that they should be hugged. If more people talked about how they were feeling or the things that they endured as they were being, reared or raised, or began the official journey through life. Because people like, oh, when I turn 18 I'm moving out. Shit. If right now today my mom was like, hey, you can move in, I would have a one room. I wouldn't even care. I would help with all the bills. It don't even matter to me. It wouldn't matter to me. But I had to get 40, I had to get grown to be like, oh, because when you're younger and if you watching this and you at home with your mama and they washing your clothes, cooking, all, how many times I have ate noodles? I like noodles though, especially because I be doctoring my noodles. But it's the principle of it. The principle is basically what I'm saying, right? It's what I'm talking about tonight. Um, Men don't like people not being close to each other because like people I was once close with, I'll say people I was once close with, once they found that I was gay and I was in a whole relationship, they're like, oh, well, I can't really hang out with you. It's a whole, I don't want to be seen with you because then birds of a birds of a feather flock together. So if I be seen with you, people gonna think that I'm gay. So I can't be seen with you. And in my mind, I don't know. I don't know if it's me. I don't think it's just me, but I don't know if it's me. But in my mind, shit that people be saying don't be making sense to me. I get the whole concept. Oh, birds of a feather flock together. If you a hoe and you hanging with hoes, you could possibly be labeled as a hoe. Me, number one, I don't care about any of that. I don't. I don't care. I um I was just hanging out and somebody was like, "Oh, you starting to put on a little weight." I was like, "Put on a little weight, honey." I Back in March, I almost fucking died. I don't care. I don't care nothing about having a stomach. I'm healing. I mean, of course, it's been 6 months. I'm still healing. Like I'm not. This week I'm doing stomach exercises. Like I'm gonna be on the floor. Like I'm going real hard. But I I just had a major surgery on my stomach. Even the size that I am, like I'm you it means nothing to me. You can call me fat, you can call me whatever. That means nothing to me. And I get it. Most other people that will be detrimental to them, and I get it. I completely understand. But that's where it's the thawing effect. Like if you have the opportunity to love yourself, whether you're fat, skinny, tall, short, bald, long flowing hair, skin pigmented, scars, whatever, if you have the opportunity to love yourself, like I feel like if when we were younger, we were encouraged to be ourselves and love ourselves. And this, parents, I'm talking to you right now. If you have the courage to say, listen, I was raised one way and I get it. I understand. I take the principles, I take the things out that worked, and the shit that didn't work, I'm going to try something different. So when I say before your child goes out the house, give them a hug. I know you probably had a really late night the night before, but wake up, tell them you love them, give them a hug. Mainly because I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but before we wasn't. I was telling somebody, I wasn't concerned about not coming home from school. I never thought anything about, okay, I'm gonna go to school and I might not make it back home. I never thought that. I was literally talking to some young people over the weekend, and I was like, the trauma it must induce in people when they go to school. You don't know, like, okay, somebody is gonna snap today. Like, it might sound like I'm making a joke of. I'm not. It's just like, I'm gonna go to church today, and I don't know if this is gonna be my last time. Like, now, I'm not telling you to live in fear, but what I am telling you to do is enjoy every fucking moment that you have. If you spent the largest majority of your life sad or heartbroken or disappointed or just totally beat down, don't you think surviving a global fucking pandemic and every fucking thing, like, for me, when the global fucking pandemic hit, I was like, oh, number one, I was like, oh, this is good for me, because I didn't want to go outside anyways. I didn't want to go outside. I was like, I was waiting for the moment where we can go to the doctor, we could order food, we could do everything from the comfort of our own home. I was waiting for that moment. I didn't know it was going to be a global fucking pandemic, but I was waiting for it. I had already started my journey of healing and self-discovery, but I don't think anybody could have prepared me for what was going to happen September of that year. Nobody could have told me that. I wouldn't have never thought it. But all kinds of shit happened to me, and I could have just been like, oh, I'm a strong black woman, and this is no knock to anybody who feels that they're a strong black woman. I just denounce it. It's a no for me. I'm going to be a woman that cries. I'm going to talk about my feelings. I'm going to be all that. And that's not to say that strong black women don't do that, but I'm saying for me, I'm speaking for me. I would normally carry myself in the manner of, yeah, that shit didn't mean anything to me, but that shit meant something to me. It meant something to me, because if you knew me before I was married, if you knew me before I was in a relationship, you would know like how I actually felt and thought about it. Wouldn't give a two shakes of a stick about it. So when I in my mind formulated that this is something I was going to commit myself to, that shit fucking hurted. And at first when you first happen, you're like, fuck you, fuck them, fuck everything. But then that's not me. I have real love. Like, I real life love people. I real life love them. And every day for all of my life, I really ask, like, why do I have to have affection for people? Like, why I can't be out here doing shitty stuff? Not that I will really want to, but why can't I be out here like that? Like, cold hearted. Just like, I know I fucking hurt you, and get over it. I know I fucking treated you bogusly, but get over it. I know I talked about you behind your back, but get over it. Or like, y'all see the news? The young lady was sex trafficked in Iowa, I believe it is. Iowa, Idaho, one of those I words. And so the person who sex trafficked her was, doing things to her. And so she unalived him. Well, she goes to court and she has to pay the family of the man who was doing the things to her $150,000. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking like, wait a minute. They took her from somewhere that she didn't ask to be taken from. Then they did the things to her, and now she has to be responsible for. Human beings are fucked up. And it was mainly because there's a law that says that. But in my mind, it's like, who in the fuck is. If you're not registered to vote, look, it just turned into a whole registered to vote. If you're not registered to vote, you definitely should vote. You should. I know we'd be like, oh, the president, they don't do shit for us anyways. But we got to start looking at our local townships. Because there's no way in fucking hell that she should have to pay anybody that. Human beings are fucked up. Let's just say that. But luckily, people heard her story and got her a GoFundMe. And so, they're taking care of that. But it's just like, how I got kidnapped and things happened to me that I never would have thought would have ever happened to me, and then I defend myself, and now I gotta pay because I defended myself. It's a no for me. That's why I'm saying, like, the thawing effect. Like, if you are a parent that experienced some horrible shit, I know you probably like, Chelle, why do you always talk about this shit? Because we don't never talk about it. We don't never fucking talk about it. We know our grandmas be beating the shit out of us for no reason, and then we just still supposed to fucking love our grandma. Listen, I'm not gonna be somebody that's gonna tell you to fucking love your grandma who beat the shit out of you. I'm gonna tell you to do what's best for you. And to me, that's removing yourself from that situation. She gonna always be your grandma. Always. For me, is we need to stop telling people to just tolerate shit because it's our families. We need to stop like encouraging our kids to do shit because we didn't have a life. I deal with music artists, right? And so I'm talking to people, and I'm talking to their parents too, right? I'm talking to their parents, and people are like, why are you addressing parents? Like, you should only focus on the artist. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna just focus on the fucking artist, because have y'all seen the music industry? We just had something with Robert Kelly where people were dropping their fucking kids off to him. No, I'm going to address the parents because I want you to know maybe your life wasn't as successful as you thought it was being, but don't be out here pimping out your child. I don't know if I could say that on Facebook or YouTube, but I definitely just said it. But this is what I'm saying. People do that. You probably looking like people wouldn't do that. Yes, the fuck they would. If somebody offered you $100,000, you would drop your child off every AAUs, um, flag football, dance teams, all this shit. Like, y'all ever like paid attention to that? Like, people fucking let their kids go on trips with these fucking people. Do we vet the people that we fucking let our kids? Oh, it's an AAU team. Okay. How many coaches we done seen doing stuff to kids? The young man from the dance squad just had a whole child, you know. We gotta start healing the shit that we experience in our life, because if we don't, it's gonna be a whole nother generation. Let me ask you this, right? Have you noticed that lately insecurity is like, woof? You see my hand? You can't see my hand? That's because that's where insecurities are right now. I don't know what happened, but that's where it is. I remember I was telling somebody, I remember you could nicely turn somebody down like, oh, hey, you look good or whatever. You could be like, no, I'm good. I'm single. I'm on a journey of healing and self discovery. You could be like that. And then, you'll be good. Nothing happened. The person would just walk away, you'd be cool. Now you'd be like, now you got to think about it. You're like, okay, let me give you a number. And nowadays you could give them a fake. Back in the days, you could write down a fake number. You wasn't gonna ever see this person again. You could do all of that, but now you got to give them your real number. They're gonna follow you on. They're gonna stalk you on social media. All of these different things. Like, everything has changed now. And I wanted to talk about the Thawing effect because I feel like we need to go internal and figure out what's going on with us. Because if we don't, especially if you're a parent, if you have bitterness or angerness towards your mother or the opposite person you had the baby with, even it same sex, whatever, if you have bitterness and angerness, and you probably like, I'm not gonna do it, but you indirectly do it. Like, check this out, right? If you grew up in a household where your mother and father verbally spoke back and forth, but not in the tone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna say it, but they were like really aggressive when they were speaking to each other, and then hands were involved, and you probably were a child, and you're like, oh no, it's my mother and father just yelled all the time. And then as you were growing up, you don't like to be yelled at. You don't like to notice other people like put in their hands. Like, I don't want you to put your hands on me. You could talk to me. It's all of these different things that happens to us indirectly. I remember, excuse me. I remember when I was growing up, one of my friends experienced their parents, and so they were just like, my mom always nags. Here's another thing, like, parents, adults, keep your adult shit away from kids. Keep it away from kids. Like, I don't know if you realize it, but life already in and of itself is hard. It's hard. So this is why I be talking to parents or people who have kids or people who raise them. You don't have to just be parents, aunties, uncles, whoever. If you have been tasked with raising someone, it is important for you, as you establish your household, to provide them love, support, respect, understanding, kindness, to listen to them. Like, these are things that should be done in the household, and I'm gonna tell you why. All it takes is for somebody to pick up their phone and say, me and my mom got into it again, or me and my dad are having a disagreement. There's people who live online, like live there, they stay there, and they wait for people to comment shit like that, and then they befriend your child or teenager or fuck it, adults. And then you're thinking, oh, this person is being really nice to me. Oh, they rocking with me. They support me. All of this shit, and they're thinking, I got another one. And then you're like, well, I don't know how that happened. And then your child is basically telling you, like, I remember when I was younger, and I'm like, I literally stopped talking for actually, I think it was more than 2 years. I literally stopped talking. I wouldn't utter a word. People were offering me some of my favoriteest things, and I wouldn't utter a word. I wouldn't say anything. Now, me, I would think as a parent or an adult or somebody that's around, like, there's something wrong. She went from a vibrant bowling, skating, not partying, but like, hanging out to like silent. Something is going on. Maybe you're noticing that your child isn't their same bubbly self. Something is going on. That's not for you to be like, well, if they want to talk to me about it, they'll tell me. That's when you, as a loving person, go to them and say, hey, I noticed something. That's a part of like paying attention. But we can't pay attention because our hearts are hardened. We've been disappointed so much. We've been let down so much. We've been lied to. We've been cheated on. We've been heartbroken. We over it. It's just like, let me just put this fucking wall up and then I'm gonna be going through life. Oh yeah, that happened, and then next thing you know, our real life say this: people are walking fucking zombies. Walking fucking zombie. You ever be talking to somebody and you're pouring your heart out to them and they're like, yeah, oh, I sure know what I would have did. They're not really listening to you. They're just actually being a placeholder to just be there for you. They're not listening though. Have you ever done that yourself? I wish that I had that ability. Like, I really wish that I had that ability. I wish that if somebody told me something that I wasn't like, damn, how can I help? I don't know if y'all have this where y'all live, but when you come off the freeway or like in the there's a median while you're like getting ready to turn or somewhere, and there's the people sitting out there with the signs. So I just realized that this is something that I just started, like I not just started, but I just paid attention to this is what I do. So whenever I go to the store or somewhere or the grocery store or I go to someone's house and they give me a beverage or they give me some snacks or something, I have a truck, so I have this big deep thing like the armrest, like my armrest on, so it has like storage in there. So now I got sodas and cookies and chips and fruit snacks, granola bars, all kinds of stuff in there. Unconsciously, I just unconsciously do it now. So I pull up and I see the person with their sign and they say, ma'am, I'm so hungry, can you help? And I got a whole thing right here. So I'm pulling out waters, I'm pulling out chips, and the look on their face is like, because the person in front of me just cussed them the fuck out and told them to go get a fucking job and you shouldn't be doing all that. And then for me, I just think like, if we put ourselves, not literally put ourselves in other people's shoes, but if we look at the situation as if that was us, that's always been me, right? I've always looked at myself in a situation like, damn, how would I handle that? I never was like, those girls that be like, oh, if I was like them, if I would have done. I've never put myself in that situation like that. But I do put myself in a situation like, damn. Like, even it's been 2 years. So I said, how fucking courageous it had to be like, I'm going to cheat on Chelle. Now, I'm not saying like I'm the queen of fucking England or nothing like, oh, sorry. But I'm not saying like I'm royalty or anything, but just like it takes a certain boldness to be like, I'm going to cheat on somebody that's been good to me, or I'm going to hurt somebody that's been like, it takes a certain boldness. Like, I really think like people just be out of their mind to do shit like that. Like, if you've been paying attention, right? Remember when women wouldn't let the person that they were with watch their kids? Remember when parents actually gave a fuck? I'm not saying that parents don't give a fuck, but I'm saying, remember when people actually gave a fuck? You wouldn't let nobody watch your kids. They couldn't go to sleepovers. They couldn't go nowhere. It was just right here with you, right? And then you start seeing like people were letting people watch their kids, and then they trying to play the game, and the kids is loud, and they done, or they trying to eat a piece of cake or chicken or all of these random ass shits, and then you seeing kids photos being placed on the news, and it's like this is what happened to them. And in my mind I'm thinking like, how the fuck can an adult, like, I can't envision it. I'm sorry, I just got really emotional. How the fuck can you look at a child, innocent, like innocent, they don't know, like they don't know what adults fucking know, but how could you look at them and be like, that was my piece of chicken, or I'm playing the video game, be quiet, and then you feel like you need to take out your anger on a fucking child? This is why I say that there needs to be a mass thawing effect. So many people are out here angry. So many people are out here broken. So many people are out here hurt. But because of the stigma of therapy, the stigma of getting help, nobody wants to be mentally ill. Nobody wants to have a problem with them. Nobody. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck at all. Y'all, with my voice, I listen. I goes immediately. I was just telling somebody, I was like, you know, they was like, oh, you know, so-and-so cheated on so-and-so. I said, well, hold on. I thought people cheating during a global fucking pandemic was crazy. It's a whole fucking monkeypox out here, and people are still, there needs to be a mass thawing effect. There needs to be like something where it touches people hard to be like, hey, listen, what happened to you was really fucked up, but you don't have to continue your life like that. It could be better. It could be, we're not telling you to go and march down the street but we're telling you like, you don't have to live your life like that. I wrote a poem. I was like, you know, I was starting to live the life that the people that were doing things to me, I started to live the life that they lived. That's not me. I'm not a cold-hearted person. I'm not gonna cuss you out, and that's not me. Now, don't get it twisted. I will fucking cuss you out. Don't get it twisted. But that's not me. I would rather make sure that you are okay. If you need to talk, hey, I got a whole podcast. My information is in the description box. Let's talk about it. I'm not, let me talk about it so we can no. Because when I was growing up, I was grateful. I had a godmother who talked to me about shit and wasn't like, you know, people like sugarcoat shit. No, she was like, real life, this is what it is. And I respected her for that. Because you know why? Because we need more people to say, this is what the fuck it is. You know your girl out here cheating on her man, or your bro out here cheating on it. You need to say what the fuck it is. Don't egg that shit on. Like, I watched, there's people on YouTube that be walking around and it's like, cheat on your girl or tell on a bro. That's what they said. Cheat on your girl or tell on a bro. And the dudes was like, oh, cheat on my girl. I was like, wait, what the fuck? You will cheat on your girl but not tell on your bro? I don't understand that concept. I don't understand the concept of cheating, period. But I don't understand how you would rather, like, that's your guy. Like, you claim to be in love with a person, but you still, I don't get that. I don't know. Maybe I should do a whole podcast and invite some people that cheated just to get an understanding. Not really. I do want to understand, like, how, like, the grass is greener over there. So then when you get over there, you see the ground is brown. Like, there's just dirt. Like, what happens after that? In my personal opinion, I think people become prideful and they're like, you know what, I fucked up. But instead of being like, I fucked up, it was like, no, you deserved what the fuck happened to you. And now I'm getting bad karma. But I feel like more people, if they would just be honest, if they would be honest and apologize, and, you know, like, it's the craziest thing to me where it'd be like, Um, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the craziest thing to me that we tell people to forgive people, or we tell them, like, you have to forgive even if you never get an apology. That's so crazy to me. That I, I don't know why it's crazy. I do know why it's crazy, but that's some of the most craziest shit ever. Cause in my mind, I'm thinking, like, if I fucking hurt you, like when I didn't record a video for 3 months, I'm not saying that y'all was like really like, ooh, let me go to her channel, but I felt bad that I didn't record a video for 3 months. Fuck the fact that I was recovering from a major surgery. I was more concerned about doing a video for you, to help you, to inspire you, when I was just like recovering from a major surgery. I couldn't bend, twist. I couldn't do any of those things. I sat in a chair and like was really going through. I was fucking going through it. So now when I look at myself and I'm exercising and I'm twisting and turning and I'm just doing all the shit that I couldn't do 6 months ago, I don't give a fuck about none of that, right? I'm going to talk about my feelings. Nurturing Conversation podcast. I'm going to talk about what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. And I say, you can overcome anything that life throws at you, because I have literally overcome molestation, rape, being cheated on, being lied to, being disappointed, being heartbroken. I've had people that I was close to. Y'all watched it. Y'all literally watched it all play out on social media. That wasn't my attention. If you know me, you know I. It's a no. I consider myself to be a private person, and you're like, but you got a YouTube. But I consider myself to be a private person. Like the shit that I'm doing, I like to keep it private unless, I'm sharing it with somebody. Like, they was like, when you go someplace, you don't geotag where you are at that location. Oh, I don't do that. I will talk about it after it's done. I will go and do all the videos or whatever, but I'll do it after it's done. Like, with my previous relationship that I just, been 2 years removed from, I realized a lot. I will say that I am grateful the way that things turned out. I am so happy. I wasn't happy at first because I felt like, damn, I thought, but now, thank you. It took a minute for me to get here, and I'm grateful that I am here. I'm grateful for the journey that I took to get here. I'm grateful for the people in my life that allowed me to thaw, allowed me to cry, allowed me to be angry, allowed me to express myself. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for understanding that I know that I needed that to happen to me. Someone's like, what the fuck you mean you needed to? I didn't, like, you don't know how shit is going to happen to you. You just know, like, it's going to happen. So I didn't know that the shit was going to happen to me, but I knew that there was a place that I wanted to be. I knew that there was a place. I knew the place I wanted to be, where I can walk in any fucking room and just speak my fucking mind and not second guess it or anything like that, right? I'm going to tell you the level of confidence, the level of assuredness. I don't even know what other word to put there, but the level that I have right now came as a result of what happened. And while I was yet recovering from a major surgery, I was able to make some serious boss moves that, had the shit not happened to me, I probably would have just still been sitting back being nonchalant, twiddling my fingers. But now it's like, I'm going broke for every fucking thing. Well, not going broke. I am going after everything that I ever wanted to do in my fucking life. I want to encourage you to do that too. I don't want you to wait until you get cheated on or heartbroken, or you've been at a job for 20 years and they suddenly let you go. That's a really heartbreaking. That hasn't happened to me, but that's a really heartbreaking thing, right? To give so much of your time and energy, and you miss family trips, and you do all of this shit for an organization, and then they treat you like shit. That has to be a hurting thing. But I just want us to do the work, do the inner work. Your father left when you were 6 and you felt some kind of way, and then you said, when I have my kids, I'm never going to be like that with my kids. And then, you get older, life fucking happens. You probably thought you was going to spend the rest of your life with that girl or that guy, but shit didn't work out. Y'all really didn't know each other. Y'all was just in lust-filled situations, and now y'all got a kid and y'all can't see eye to eye. I'm going to tell you this. Those children, that child, your offspring deserves love, support, encouragement, respect. They deserve all of that. Because, they didn't ask to be here. You brought them here. That's a whole nother thing. So I feel like as a parent, you should be able to get yourself together enough so that your shit doesn't affect your child. You see where I'm going with that? But if you're a parent and you haven't begun the work on yourself, I went to a social justice event yesterday, and it was talking about mental health and how do we help the young people, or how do we help incoming freshmen with mental health. And I was sitting there, I was like, I hope that some young people come, because it's cool that we are adults and we want to help the young people with mental health. But I was like, I wish young people would come, because they will be able to better tell us, because they're young. Like, what do you wish would happen to help you? And so, in walked some young people. And so we're sitting at a table and we're brainstorming, bouncing ideas off each other. And what I realized is that while I went to predominantly white schools, so there are things in place. That's probably how I learned about therapy. I don't know. But there were things in place that if I needed to take a break from a class, there was a room I could actually go in. There's a place I could actually go. So for me, I'm sharing this with the young people, and they're like, that would be cool, like a sensory room. I was like, whoa, what is a sensory room? I had they were schooling me on shit that I didn't know. I was thinking about turning the corner of my studio into a sensory spot. But anyways, so they're talking and they're telling us how they deal with situations. And so one of the other people on the team, they're like, I used to go in the bathroom all the time and cry. And I just thought, how many times do people see school as a place of refuge, or see work as a place of refuge? And think about, there was a global fucking pandemic and no one could go anywhere. So think about how those people who were escaping to school or escaping to work, or those kids or those people that was went to school or went to work or whatever for food, my heart went out to them. So I'm listening to these young people talking. I was like, we need to have resources where they feel comfortable talking. A lot of people was like, oh, well, you should do it anonymously. I was like, yeah, we could do that. Because I understand that the first thing people say, I don't want people to judge me. I don't want nobody to talk about me. And then I be thinking you don't want to get help because you don't want people to talk about you getting help. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck who cares, who talks about you while you getting help, because at the end of the day, you're going to be okay. I remember people used to laugh. Oh, you go to therapy. Now I'm talking to them. They were like, girl, I went to therapy and I did this. And I was just like, yeah, I told you, it's life changing, isn't it? It's life changing. You might not think about it like that, but it's life changing. You probably like go, but you gotta go with an open mind. Like when I was in my relationship, like he was like, "You didn't see red flags." In my mind, I'm like, I don't go into something looking for red flags. Now, yes, I go in mindful of the red flags that could appear, but I'm not looking for no fucking red flags. It's like I'm a fucking entrepreneur. Like I know all of the shit that could happen, but I'm not going in like, oh, my business is going to fail. Nobody's going to. I'm not going in like that because I'm going in mindful that it could fail. I'm going in mindful that people could not purchase my service or could not. I'm mindful of that, but that's not what I'm looking for. That's what I feel like a lot of the conversations that we are having, we are just spitting rhetoric that we've heard our entire life that people told us. Like, men don't cry. It's 2022. If you are a man and you haven't fucking cried, I want to encourage you to go to fucking therapy. I said fucking a lot in that sentence right there. But I want to encourage you to go to therapy because you should cry. Crying is a form of release. And if you don't cry, if you don't express your feelings, I understand why you're so angry because you don't have an outlet. You don't have a resource. I literally see the Nurturing Conversations podcast as being a resource, a place where people can come to have an open conversation, talk about shit, or you don't even have to talk about, you don't even have to talk. You don't even have to type on the screen. You could just be here and just listen, but take away something. Tonight, the thawing effect. I want you to take away the fact that if you've been feeling some kind of way about somebody, right? Maybe your mama was not nice to you. Maybe your mama was on drugs. Maybe your mama was in love with Jesus. Jesus was their boyfriend. And she treated y'all in a way that you were not cool with. Talk to her about it. If you can't talk to her about it, go to fucking therapy. If you can't go to therapy, make sure that you don't pass on that shit to your kids. Don't drink it away. Don't smoke it away. Don't sex it away. Don't party it away. Don't do none of that shit because all that does is add extra layers on top of the shit that you already have to clean up. More people should have podcasts. You telling everybody to get a podcast? Yes. If you are a parent who struggled with your child while they was at home during the pandemic, start a fucking podcast and tell us what it was like. I wish more people like YouTube. I wish more people start that YouTube. There's a one YouTuber I just started watching. He was in jail. He said he was in jail with his brother and his father, and he showed us the pictures of it. I was so fucking intrigued. And then he started talking about like I went down this road, but you don't have to go down there. Like if your guys come to pick you up, they only come and pick you up if you doing, they doing what you do, but they don't pick you up to see if you ate. They don't pick you up to see if you okay. That's the shit I'm on right now. I'm hitting people. I'm texting. I'm calling. I'm FaceTiming. My new thing now is I send everybody a video message. People, I text. I be texting. I like to text, but I want to start doing more video messages. And because I said while I was talking to the people yesterday, I was like, I remember voicemails and answering machines, and you couldn't wait to like check your voicemail to see if somebody called you or left you a message. And now it's like, what do we have in that way? Like, people don't leave voicemails. It's like, as soon as it go beep, people hang up. I leave a voicemail message because I want you to hear my voice. I want you to hear what I got to say. But I'm going to start doing more video messages. So you'll see more reels, more shorts, more of my face on the camera. But no, like I even thought like when I turned 42, right? I picked 42 different people that I felt that I've always wanted to say, like, okay, I'm not rich, so I can't buy you flowers, I can't buy you a car or anything like that, but I can tell you thank you. I can tell you thank you. I can tell you how much what you did for me helped me, how it supported me in the things that I was doing, and 42 people received them. 42. And I thought to myself, number one, I would have never did no shit like that ever. But I'm breaking out of the shell that I once was in, and I'm being more bold. I'm walking in boldness right now. I'm real life. Anything that comes to my mind that I want to do, that I want to have, I'm figuring out how the fuck I can make it work. I got some things right now, October, November, December. I'm gonna share it all with y'all because it's like people need to know. People need to know like, hey, you don't want to work at that job. You can start your own fucking business and be successful. You can. But you have to get out of your own way. Real life. I'm grateful for the last 2 years of my life. I am grateful for every fucking thing that happened. I am grateful that my heart has thawed. It is thawing. I am grateful that the walls are gone. I am grateful to be back to my authentic self. I am grateful. Mm. I am grateful. Now, I would not have chosen the path that it took to get me here, but I'm grateful I am here. I understand that the shit that I went through, not only was it just like, oh fuck, this hurts so bad, my heart is broken. It was that. It definitely was that. But it was also me being able to see strong points, me being able to see things about myself that I needed to see. That I was too blind, I was too busy doing every other fucking thing that I couldn't see myself. But then life be like, hey, we need you to sit down for a minute. And then when you sit down, you have no other choice but to see yourself. No other choice. And then when you see yourself, you can be like, no, that ain't me. That ain't me. I don't do shit like that. You could do that. But when you really tired, when you are so fucking fed up, you will do whatever it takes to change. When you really get tired of being hurt, when you really get tired, they say you attract like-minded people, or you attract whatever you are, you attract or whatever. So I've been realizing that the people that I've been attracting lately is amazing. They're phenomenal. They are walking in boldness. They are successful. They are positive. They are lovely. They are amazing people. And I just knew, like, in the back of my mind, when I was younger, I knew that I knew who I was going to be. I knew. I said it. Everybody I ever dated, everybody that was ever around me, I told them who I was going to be. So the fact that I am walking in that right now is beyond amazing. Again, the journey, I would not have chosen it. I would not have chosen it. Mm-mm. You think, like when people think about who they gonna marry, they got the thing on TikTok. It's like, oh, show your childhood crush and who you ended up with. Think about it, if you had kids, right? You probably thought like, oh, my baby daddy or my baby mom was gonna be insert here, and then you look at the person that you have kids with. Now, kids are a blessing, but that probably wasn't the person that you had anticipated having kids with. Think about all the people that had one night stands, or just like, let's just go do this, and then resulted. Now it's like, damn, I didn't even get to live. I didn't even have a childhood. I didn't even do none of that shit. I said I was gonna be. I thought about even having kids, right? I knew at a young age I didn't want to have kids, but then when I got older, I was like, I could be somebody's mama. All the same time in the back of my head, I was just like, I don't want kids, because I would be one of those parents. I'm kind of the auntie like that. I don't wish a motherfucker would, but when they do, I'm going to let you know. Hey, I'm like that with my brothers. I'm like that with my nieces and nephews. I'm like that with anybody that I love. I'm like that, hell, with you two people. People that's been rocking with me since day one. I'm like that with them too. Don't do that shit. Don't do that. I don't like bullies. I don't like uh I remember it was a time I would just sit back and not say shit, but fuck that. I'm talking about every fucking thing. You gonna hear my fucking voice. If you out here bullying people, it's 2022. Go get help. Go to therapy. You got some shit that you need to release. Go get a Reiki bath. Go get a sound bath. Get you some crystal. Get you one of these. You got to do something, because clearly if you've been praying to Jesus or giving it to whatever deity you've been giving it to and ain't shit changed, it's time for you to do something different. If you've been doing the same thing since you was little and nothing has changed, you haven't changed, nothing has changed. Change is good. It might be scary. It might be scary, but it's good. It's good. At first I was like, I'm over it. I'm not, but now I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I smile every day. I am loved every day. Am I gonna do the same shit that I did before with it? No. It's a no. Cause contrary to popular belief, I learned from my mistakes. I learned from the shit that didn't work. I take what worked and what didn't work. I learned. So, you know, this go round, life is gonna be different. It better fucking be different. Shit, I'm 42. I'm still not gonna be doing the same shit I was doing 18, 20, 30. It's 42. I'm walking in divine boldness. Hmm. Divine boldness. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Nobody can stop me. They could try. You could try. You could try, but it's a no. It's not gonna stop me. I allowed that shit to happen before, but now I know who I am. I know how much value. I know what I bring to the fucking table. Y'all hear all these table talks? I know what I bring to the fucking table. I don't. It's on and popping is all I'm gonna say. It's on and popping. That's all I got, y'all. I just want to come, and of course, every day, every Saturday, Sunday that I do these things, I just want to talk. Give you a space and opportunity to hear, to listen, to communicate, to have a dialogue, to provide feedback, and hopefully feel inspired to be better. Hopefully, that's ultimately what I would hope, that you come here, you hang out, like something I say will encourage you to be better, or let you know that you don't have to be who you are or where you are. You could be better. Your mama and daddy didn't treat you like you thought they should treat you. That's why you should treat yourself better. Understand that, hey, you are more than what life has given to you. That's what I had to realize. I knew from way back when. I knew my entire life. And the crazy thing is, I said to myself, like, when you have, when you know that you are destined to do something, like maybe you are a makeup artist, right? And you know that you're destined to do that, or whatever. Like, say you're a basketball player, right? You know that like only 50, 42, 46 people in the NBA. You would think like all the different teams, right? But I think like a year only like those numbers. High lovely, like there's only a certain number of people that can actually go to the NBA. So maybe you trained your whole life to go to the NBA and you don't get that call, right? There is the G League. There is a sports casting. There is general manager. There's so many different alternatives. For me, in the space that I'm in at 42, the thing that I value the most are resources. Money, that's cool. I've never, if you know me, I've never had that thing with money. I've never been that person who was like, oh yeah, money, ooh. No. People around me be getting mad because they go like, why you don't look at, I will never look at money like that. I went to a pitch event and they was like, well, how much do you need? I was like, I don't. I'm good. I mean, I can make it work with the shit that I've been, but I need your resources. I need to be able to be connected to this person so that I can take my program and put it in that place. That's what I need. I need an introduction. I can build my own relationships. I'm a talker. If you can't say, I'm a talker. Like I'm good at talking. I just need that introduction. I just need you to hold the door open as I walk in. That's what I need. And people be talking, they be like, oh, I got this amount of money. I was like, that's cool. That money gonna be gone in no time. It's gonna be gone. The resource and the relationship will be there forever. That's why I think about you two. I think about y'all. I didn't release a fucking video, not even a short or nothing. There was no Saturday Night Vibes. There was no Sunday Night Dinner in Cabo. There was nothing. And y'all, to this day, are still here rocking with me. Y'all literally watch my life like go just like this and then go pew, and y'all was still right there. Definitely, my information is in the inbox. Shoot me an email. That's gonna come directly. When you send me an email, it's gonna come directly to my phone right here. Directly. There's no third person. It's gonna come directly to me. I'm here to help. I wish more people do. That's what I'm saying. Like, I be wishing. I wish like women who have a divorce would like talk to people, like go on, like when you hear about a divorce, right? You hear it be like, oh, it was messy. It was all of these different things, right? I told somebody, I said, I think I had one of the smoothest ever. It was so smooth. I really like, let me tell y'all something that I really realized that was so fucking freaky to me, but I don't know. It was freaky. So y'all know, if you've been here, I was in a relationship. There was videos. There's probably some videos or it's some stuff out there, right? So I go to check my hard drive. I'm cleaning off my hard drive, getting rid of stuff, refreshing, right? All of the pictures and videos and shit that we had, gone. Everything, gone. Everything was gone. It was like it never even fucking existed. And then, you start to ask yourself, like, wait a minute, did it? But I know it did because I was here. We was here when it was happening. But everything is fucking gone. Like, it completely never fucking existed. And I didn't delete it because, hey, I remember. I have memories. You can't take the memories. But I was just like, wait, I know we had a video for this. I know every fucking thing is gone. Everything. And when you get to that moment, you have heartbreak. And you just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to recover from this. Like, this one hurt deep. You ever tell yourself, like, man, this one hurt deep. Like, the last one didn't fucking hurt. This one hurt. I'm going to be honest and say, this one hurted the fucking most. Hurted the fucking most. And when you get that hurt and you just be like, ooh, I just want to say some things. I want to do some things. But then you think like, okay, I will only be responding out of hurt and anger. And I'm tired of that cycle being in my life. So it's like, you know what? Let me just heal. Let me understand why it hurted so much. Let me understand. Let me just thaw. Let me let that heart beat. Let me let that blood rush through there. Let me feel it. And when it engulfs you, right? There's fear. There's like, oh no, this is too much for me. But when you go through it, that's why I say you can go through, you can overcome anything that life fucking throws at you. Once you make it on the other side of that shit, woo! When you make it on the other side, I'm sorry if that was loud, but when you make it on the other side of that shit, Like if you grew up and people was like, you ain't gonna never be shit, your daddy wasn't shit, nobody in your family was shit, you ain't gonna never be shit, and you accomplish the shit not for them, but you do it for yourself. You see where you once were, and then you make it to that spot where it's just like, I fucking did it. And you think about the journey, you think about all the shit you hear while you going. Let me tell y'all something. This is why I say human beings are fucked up. I said I was wrapping it up, but let me tell y'all why I said human beings are fucked up. Human beings are fucked up because they decide to blame the people that the shit happened to instead of blaming the actual fucking person that did the shit. I can't tell you how many times people was like, you didn't see red flags, you didn't see all of this. And I'm saying this because maybe you're in a relationship or maybe you're in a situation where it's just like, you don't want to be there anymore. Take it from me. Look the person that you are with. Look at them. Look at them. You don't even have to fucking look at them. Do a video. Send a video and be like, hey, this isn't working for me anymore. I'm going to go do something else. Now, granted, there will be heartbreak, there will be disappointment, there will be all of that. But there will most importantly be respect. Respect. You ever notice how when people break up, it's like they break up from everybody? My niece, I'm going to tell y'all this because this is important to me. This made me feel some kind of way. So, Kira is 7, right? And y'all know, if y'all been here, y'all know there was somebody else on the channel. There was. And so Kira came over and she's like, where is, thank you. I appreciate that, honestly, Blue. She said, where is Riri? And I was just like, oh shit, what do I say? And I said, oh, she's gone. And she's like, well, can you call her? I miss her. I really want to talk to her. And I was like, well, she has a new number. I don't know her new number, but I'll see if I can find it for you. And she was just like, well, is she still your friend? I said, what do you tell a child when they're asking questions like that? I'll tell you what I told her. I said, she's just in a different space in her life right now. And I'm sure when she gets, settled, she'll remember you. I'm sure she remembers you. She's like, she remembers me? I said, yeah, I'm sure she remembers you. And she's like, well, I would really love to talk to her. I would really love to see how she's doing. And I was just like, that's exactly what I did. Because I don't think, this is just my opinion. You could have another opinion from mine. I don't think that people think about the decisions that they make. I think they just make them. I think they just make them. I think they just go with the moment. And at the moment, it's like, yes, I feel good. Everything is good. But they don't think about the ripple effect of. Sorry, I had to take a moment to write that down. They don't think about the ripple effect of the decision that they make. Check this out, right? I knew that when I went on a journey of healing and self-discovery, that I would not only be better for myself, I would be better to everyone around me. I would be better to YouTube, Twitch. The content that I put out would be better. Now, a lot of you are like, you're just doing the same thing, but I am figuring out me. Like I know working out, doing live workouts, I know juicing, all of those things have helped me be more accountable, have helped me be, it's helped me. A lot of you have sent me messages. A lot of you have told me how working out has inspired you. A lot of you have told me how you wanted to start drinking it and requesting juice recipes or smoothie recipes. Like a lot of you have also told me that. So for me, I'm walking in my purpose. I am saying what I'm saying because if you are someone who has a serious decision to make, don't make it in the moment. Don't just go like, oh, it feels good. I feel like I should do it. Inhale it, exhale it, sit with it, breathe through it. Think about the ripple effects of it. Now, I'm not telling you to stay in a relationship. I'm not going to tell you to do that. Especially if you don't want to be there, I'm not going to tell you to do that. But I will tell you, think about how you leave that situation. Now, sometimes you just got to be like, fuck it and go. But sometimes you have to think about it, especially if you build relationships with other people. Think about that. You don't like your job, but you have coworkers that's been supporting you the entire time. You don't like your family, but you got the one cousin that always looked out for you. Like, think about that. Think about the ripple effect. Y'all see me wrote that down. So one of these conversations is gonna be the ripple effect. Cause I don't think people like. I think when people cheat, they just be like thinking for the moment, like, "Oh yeah, this shit feel good. This is great. I'm not getting this at home or whatever." I don't know why people cheat. I don't know why they do the shit they do. But then when reality set in, that's when people just be like, "Damn, I fucked up. How am I gonna recover from this? How do I get?" At the end of the day, think about the ripple effect. That's all I got. Today's topic was the thawing effect. We need to allow ourselves to feel. I know you like, show that shit hurt. I don't even got time for it, but you do, because think about it. You out here not feeling, you not acknowledging your feelings. You getting angry, you irritated, you frustrated. Anybody say something, it just sets you off. You don't want to walk around life like that, especially if you are a fucking parent. Your baby daddy, baby mama set you off, or somebody set you off, and now you yelling at your kids and you disciplining your kids because of some shit somebody else did. Don't do that. Thaw. Allow yourself to fucking feel. That's all I got. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope to see y'all next week. I appreciate y'all for coming over and singing last night for karaoke, man. I'm telling y'all, I have been smiling. You're probably like, you always smile. No, like this level of smilage that I'm doing right now, the muscle, I don't know, my face is, the muscles in my face from just smiling so much. It's just, it's a wonderful feeling. I'm gonna say that it's truly, truly wonderful. Thank you, Tom. If you are free tonight at 11 on my TikTok, I do a live beat challenge. It's 10 minutes. I make a foundation of a beat. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'll be pulling together. No, I make a foundation of something that could be bigger. And my hopes is that by September the 30th, I will have 30 different tracks to like play around with on my songversation. So we are on day number 18. So I'm 18 days in. You know, your girl feeling herself. I'm telling y'all, do y'all see what happened when I smile? I literally every time I smile, my heart like leaps. Like it leaps and I can feel the blood. It's so amazing. I'm telling you, just allow yourself to feel. That's all I got. Remember, it is important for you to use your words. That is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling and what you are thinking. I have a juice video coming up, and I have other videos coming up, y'all. Today has just been I'm gonna sit back and bask in the ambiance of what is my life right now kind of day. That's what today was. I would never let a live video, vlog, short, or anything that I present to you go out without me telling you to love yourself. Love yourself, know yourself, trust yourself, and for the love of humanity, just be yourself. Why? Because you need you, I need you, the world needs you to be exactly who you were created to be. Besides, everyone else is already taken. Make sure you get your toiletries, non-perishable food items, disinfectant, water. Set some money to the side. I don't know if y'all pay attention, but the railroad, something going on with the railroads. The people were saying that they was going to go on strike, or that Friday they said they was going to go on strike if something didn't get taken care of. Listen, y'all know what happened with the trucking, the shipping, the trucking. Y'all see shipping, trucking. Now it's the railways. How do we get stuff in our towns and in our cities? We got to start paying attention. Hey, I'm going to just tell y'all, make sure you and your family is safe and y'all good. Y'all prepared. That's all I got. I love y'all. Thank y'all again for all of the love and support. Until next time, join me at 11. Join me at 11. Until next time, I love y'all. Peace.